So here I am with David Ross from Ross Video, and I've had a little bit of a tour here, and I've heard about some extraordinary things. So David, the company has grown fairly quickly in the last few years. What would account for that?
I think it's a combination of a lot of things, because when I take a look at where the growth came from, we grew in every single product line, whether they're internally generated, design product lines, whether they're acquisitions, and we grew in all different regions as well: North America, Europe, Latin America, Asia. So it's not one thing. And one of the things we've been trying to do in Ross Video is I guess, build a truly great company.
Right.
And as a result of that, we've been just trying to get everything right, and customers are
Right.
starting to...
How many people do you have working here now?
Here in Ottawa?
Well, in the whole company.
In the whole company, we just passed 400.
And are you hiring anybody this year?
We have 34 or 35 open jobs on the website right now.
Wow.
Around the world, and the majority of them in the Ottawa area.
Wow.
And I think we've got recs out for about 50 in total so far this year, so there's still more to come, and I wouldn't be surprised if we hired another 50 in the second half of the year.
Well, that's impressive growth. Now, you mentioned to me earlier that you didn't want to be kind of maybe a one product, one industry company, and sort of what got you thinking about, diversification both in customer base, geography, and also industry?
Well, actually, one of the things we used to joke about is that if you look at McDonald's, they don't just sell burgers; they sell burgers, fries, milkshakes, and so on. So
yeah.
we've been building out the menu for some time. One of the things is that the more things that you sell, the more effective your sales force can be.
Right.
Because if they just bought one thing, you don't want to come back 10 years later and ask them if they're ready for another one. You can develop a relationship with your customers all around the world on a regular basis, and then also be able to have more salespeople because they can concentrate on a smaller geographic area. So that works really well. It's also about just having if you're never always going to be at the top of your game in every single one of your product lines. And when you're at the end of a product life cycle and you're designing in the new one or whatever, it's good to have other products that are at different stages in their life cycles and they can lean on each other as they go from one generation to the next.
So I have one last question for you for our little video here. You mentioned to me that if you think about where you're going with this company and the shareholdings and employee ownership and your ownership, you're not planning to sell this company, you're planning to build it further and hold on to it. A lot of people these days seem to be building companies to flip, to sell. You're not doing that. Why?
Because if I was to sell the company, I'd just take the money and buy a company exactly like this one because I love it so much. We're doing well enough that I guess I'm not worried about my retirement and cashing in. There's too many people, I think, that start companies that think about their exit strategy before they even start to build a business at all.
Exactly.
And if you're really in love with what you do, it just goes well and you want to do more. So
okay.
We prefer to be a company that buys companies instead of a company that gets bought and is for sale. And I think as well, there's companies that buy companies that are just funds, but we're not creating an accumulation of companies. We're building a company that's well integrated with products that work well with each other.
Well, I kind of lied. I do have a last question, David, and that would be, this company was started with $3,500, no VC money and no angel money. Do you think that entrepreneurs out there today have a chance to build something on the scale of Ross Video?
It would be hard because there's a lot of manufacturing capacity and so forth, but I think it's entirely possible, and we've been talking to a lot of companies that we've bought or that we're looking at buying even now, and most of them started exactly like Ross.
Thank you so much.